An air pilot named Cooper flying in the sky when his plane suddenly ran out of energy. Cooper woke up from his dream, fortunately not true. The storms of dust blowing continuously, causing food trees to not grow. Every day they have to cover their nose to not inhale dust. The Earth is facing a serious environmental crisis. Humanity is in difficult circumstances and must find solutions to survive. Even dishes must be down to avoid dirt. Cooper's father-in-law is Donald, calling the children to the breakfast table. After that, Cooper and his children left home. Suddenly, their cars were exploded. Cooper told his son to patch the tire while he and his daughter talked. Cooper's daughter named Murph. The name is like the law of Murphy. Suddenly, a military drone flew over their heads. Cooper hurriedly brought his children into the car. Ice straight through the cornfield that directed Christopher Nolan has planted. Tom drove the car while his father struggled with his computer. Cooper did not notice, then plunged into the cliff. Take off the car, Cooper holds a girl who controls the device to land safely. The father and son to see if this device is useful. Then they went to school. Cooper attended a parent meeting with the principal, who saw his son who had a gift to become a great farmer in the future. But Cooper wants his son to go to college to become an engineer. However, currently, humanity does not need more people with university degrees. But farmers need to help solve hunger around the world when trees cannot grow by serious environmental pollution. Next, his daughter's teacher was worried about Murph's interest in landing on the moon. She said that the media only pumped people to set foot on the moon, not wasting money into useless things. We should teach children to the Earth, not leaving it. Cooper used to work for NASA, so he could not accept this. He proved not caring and will lead his daughter out. Cooper returned to the car with Murph, hurt a little at home. They returned to the farm where the tractors were broken. In Murph's room, Cooper saw a book scattered throughout the floor. Murph said it was a ghost that wanted to communicate with Mott. Cooper thinks children should be shelves. After that, he fixed the tractors, but the cause they were broken was still a mystery. He and Donald recalled the old days, when every day had a new invention. Who did people forget who they are? We once looked up to the sky and wondered where we stood between you. Now we only know the end of our heads worried about our place in the dust. The Earth has several billion people. Everyone wants everything. At the football match, the whole family watched the match together. Ton agreed with his father to take care of the farm in the future. Suddenly, the siren rang out, signal a sandstorm. Everyone calmly, gently, and left in order. The family drove home. Sandstorms occur quite often as in the desert. When Murph realized it had forgotten the open window, she and Cooper ran up to close the window. When cutting down, Cooper observed a strange phenomenon on the floor that looks like a password. The next day, Murph found his father in his room. Cooper threw a Sioux coil and it fell quickly to the floor. He said that Murph's room was actually gravity. Realizing that the posting via binary, the father and son took the map to mark the coordinates it provided. Cooper is about to go to that location, refuse not let Murph accompany. But Len fled under the blanket, forcing him to let her go with him. At night, Cooper drove carefully around that area. He got out of the car to cut off the barrier. A flashlight and a voice threatening Cooper before chasing him. Cooper woke up and was interrogated by Taz, a tactical robot. Amelia Brand entered the introduction room to Cooper, who had a familiar name to him. Amelia leads Cooper into the conference room, where his daughter is there. He reunited with Professor Brand. Cooper explained vaguely about how they found this hidden base, until Murph said gravity has led. Cooper refused to add more unless their safety was guaranteed. They laughed and revealed that this was the NASA base. Behind the wall is a group of engineers working. Professor Brand explained that because of famine, society no longer supports sponsoring space. However, they have shifted their efforts to find solutions for food shortage. Each year, different crops will not eat. It can also be cultivated on Earth. According to calculations, Professor Brand predicts that the generation of Murph will be the last generation on Earth. We have no plan to save the Earth, that we plan to leave it. Professor Brand sent many people out of space to find new roofs. The last part of the Lazarus mission. The Lazarus mission is the final exploration of the Earth, in the hope of finding a planet that can live. Finally, he convinced Cooper to agree to join the project for his son. In the conference room, Cooper was notified of the mission. NASA discovered a hole near Saturn, leading to another crane. They think that someone has placed that hole as a means to help people. 10 years ago, NASA sent 12 astronauts to 12 planets. Only 3 people sent signals about the planet's ability to live. The mission has 2 plans, Plan A and Plan B. Plan A is to use the entire current facility as a spacecraft, using gravity to push and bring survivors into space. However, this process is only in theory, and Professor Brand has not solved the problem. As for Plan B, we have fertilized 5,000 evidence. People on Earth will be left behind, and 5,000 fertilization will be divided into 10 boats onwards. Therefore, we are developing Plans A and Cooper to go out to carry out this task. When he returned, he would solve the gravity problem. Returning home, Cooper tried to talk to Murph, the sad girl before the news that her father would leave. In the morning, Cooper came to eat her daughter again. Cooper told him that he only did this for his 2 children. Murph tried to change his father's mind, advise him to stay. Cooper did not listen and hug Murph like that was the last time. He gave her a watch, saying that time outside the space is slower on Earth, and that they can be the same age when he returns. This made her even more angry. Cooper strangled away when the book fell. Remember this important detail. Before leaving, Cooper hugged his son. He will have to take responsibility for him. After he drove away, Murph ran out to chase but was too late. Rocket launched, crew Cooper with us left Earth. They are approaching the space station, slowly, successfully in connecting spacecraft. The crew entered the station, starting the controls, turning on the engines and space stations. Professor Brent appeared on the screen and wished them luck with the 2-year journey to Saturn. Through the window, Cooper observed the Earth now. Meanwhile, the black man walked into his chamber to prepare for a deep sleep. Cooper sat in front of the recording machine, sending goodbye to the children before entering the deep bedroom. And on Earth, Professor Brent visited the Cooper family, giving them a video message from Cooper, but Murph did not care. Brent talked to Donald about realizing that Murph was very potential. Maybe he would train her to become talented. Many years have passed. Near the outside of Saturn, Cooper woke up, watching video messages from his family, but his daughter stubbornly did not want to talk. After that, Cooper sat beside him black. He seems to be worried about the future. Cooper comforted him and lent his hand. Cooper and his colleague review the collected images. The crew sat in the space outfit, worried because the fate of humanity was heavy on their shoulders. The ship slowly reached the deep hole. The crew prepared mentally. No one knows what will happen in. Everything seems to be quite good. However, the ship is almost unable to maintain the structure when they move through the deep hole. They are going through multi-dimensional membranes. Amelia saw a deformation in the space like an arm reached out, so she tried to shake hands with it. Then everything became silent. The ship stabilized and they drifted smoothly in the vast universe. The crew gathered to meet the decision to see which planet will go. Currently, they have 2 options. One of the options is a planet nicknamed Black Lake. 1 hour there is 7 years on Earth. This causes the members to argue. High possibility only Plan B. Cooper proposes an intermediary solution. The ship will go to the opposite side of that planet so that their time is not affected when landing. A group will go down to sample as quickly as possible, then come back immediately, while the black guy stayed and waited and analyzed the data from the Black Lake. So everyone is in their position. If they work as fast as calculated, it only takes an hour, equivalent to 7 years on Earth. They experienced strong fluctuations when near the planet's surface. The crew landed and met a vast ocean. Time is no longer gold and gold. It is an hour for 7 years. They went down to find something that signaled them. The robot found the debris from Dr. Miller's signal. They try to find the rest of the debris towards the mountains ahead. Unfortunately, there was another super large wave coming from behind. Amelia, despite her sample, she fell down. The robot turned into a wheel and rushed towards her. It quickly carried her away, bringing her back to the train. The colleague was swept away by the wave. Water flooded inside the ship, so it impacts with the water from one side to another. They survived the cave, but the ship was damaged. Cooper was angry with Amelia because he did not return when he told her. They will have to wait for the ship to discharge all the water to fly. Here is an hour, 7 years on Earth, but the time no longer counts as gold and silver. Another wave is about to hit them. Cooper quickly started the engine. The ship took off, flying into the sky. Returning to the ship, the black guy was much older than the trick to welcome them. He waited for 2 people for a long time, exactly 23 years, 4 months, 8 days. He used that time to study black holes, but could not send signals to Earth. Meanwhile, Cooper watched the videos that had missed the past 23 years. He was moved to see his son growing up, and he also got up before his grandfather. His father-in-law, this Donald, now died. 23 years without a news that made his son suspect that he died. The screen fades and Murph appears. Today is her birthday. Dad told me that when I came back, we can be the same age. And today, I am the same age when my father left. Murph wiped tears, turned to see the Professor Brent sat in a wheelchair at the door. He was surprised to see the first time she sent a message. They went to his office to work together. Dr. Brent does not fear what? They never return. Or they returned and found that we had failed. They tried to solve the problem hundreds of times, and only need to be once successful. Murph stared intently at the table, realized that they have seen the wrong equation. Professor Brent knows this, but Murph does not understand. Why he did not change. Back to Cooper and teammates. They are considering visiting the planet of Dr. Mann or Edmonds. Amelia believes that the second choice is better because it is farther away from the black hole. The planet of the Dr. Mann shows a lot of life data, but there is no signal transfer. And Edmund's planet is unknown, but he sent a continuous signal. Because Amelia used to have a close relationship with Dr. Mann, he chose to come there. She continued to argue that, although he did not send any signals, the planet of Dr. Mann was very potential when having full data. So Cooper was convinced. In Earth, Tom still maintains the family's farming tradition. Murph visited Tom and his wife. Tom's second son has respiratory problems due to the worsening environmental conditions. But Tom still ignored. Meanwhile, Amelia talked to Cooper. If the planet of Dr. Mann is not suitable, they will have to return or continue with the Plan B on the planet of Edmonds. Murph hurried to the hospital to visit the Professor Branch when he almost died. She assured that she would accomplish what he had started. With the final words, Brent confessed to Murph that his project was not for the purpose of returning, and that Plan A and theory were all lies. Leave Murph in surprise and disappointment. Murph transmits news via video messages that accuse Amelia about her father's lies. And the spacecraft flew into the planet atmosphere of Dr. Mann. Around here is all tape with stone. The crew went to the snowy mountains where they saw a base. They came inside, seeing Dr. Mann sleeping deeply. When he woke him, Mann immediately cried when he saw everyone. Mann shared his discovery about the planet. They are currently at a mountain peak where there is no air that can breathe. However, the planet has a lower surface in the hope that may have life. During the day, there are 67 hours and 67 hours at night. Gravity here is 80% of the Earth. He spent a lot of time researching, seeing this place extremely potential. Amelia watched Murph's video messages, and voice rang throughout the room when she revealed the truth. Murph said that it was all just a trick. Cooper will never be able to return. Cooper was surprised by this sudden revelation. The man squeezed in and said that Professor Brent had relieved the Fwang it was even before the astronauts left. But merely proves the theory is not enough. They need information about what is inside the black hole to put it in practice. Unfortunately, natural laws do not allow that. Man justified the actions of the professor, saying that sacrificing the lives of billions of people on Earth is necessary to save humanity. Cooper could not accept when he knew he was tricked. On Earth, Murph told her colleagues about the lie of the professor. But the problem he solved was only half. To know the other half, she had to find on the Earth. We also saw everyone leaving. She recalled the ghost in her room because she felt like a person who was trying to say something. So she decided to go home to find out. Murph visited his old room while Getty checked the worst situation of the Tom family. Getty blames Tom for this, and so Tom punched Getty. Murph provoked his brother. Tom threatened them to leave. On the way, Murph drove into the woo field. She took a fuel bottle and started pouring gasoline on plants, lit fire, and drove away. The fire made Tom leave the house to resolve. Murph and Getty take advantage of this opportunity to rescue Tom's family, and she returned to her room. On that planet, Cooper is about to leave here to return to the Earth. He went black and tried to hold him back. Proposed to throw TARS into a black hole to collect information about what is inside. And so Cooper agrees. Let's explore with Man potential area for the mission. And then the company comes back. During the journey, Man chatting with Cooper about human survival instincts allow them to push themselves far beyond their abilities. And as a father, that instinct is stronger for their children. When they found themselves standing at the edge of an abyss, suddenly Man removed Cooper's signal device and pushed him down. Man tried to kick Cooper's hand, but Cooper pulled him down with him. He confessed that this fake data and planet could not live. Because I was afraid of quality, I did so for people to come here to rescue me. Two people struggled, and when Cooper gained advantage, he banged his head on Cooper's helmet, causing oxygen gas to not go out. He looked back at Cooper, mourned for him, and laughed. Cooper crawled to signaling equipment and screaming for help. Amelia hurriedly started flying. She promptly provided oxygen for breather breathing. Meanwhile, the black man is repairing Man's robot. When he sees the data, feels something wrong. He heard Amelia calling for communication equipment as if it was too late. Man used the opportunity to board the train, abandoned the crew. Cooper contacted him, but he did not answer. Man tried to join the space station, but fortunately TARS was ineffective in harmony. Man, despite not listening to Cooper, tried to connect manually. And of course, the system does not allow him to access. Cooper realized the distortion, so his ship remained back all the way. Man still stubbornly opened and locked the gas. The debris shot. Cooper has no way to play the dose to keep the space station. The robot protested, but Cooper had faith for his children. The ship began to rotate with the space station. They experienced strong burrs. Cooper holds the steering wheel and finally connects successfully. However, inside the ship, they pass the damaged corners in the generator room. They do not have enough oxygen to return to the Earth, but they can go to Edmund's planet. Cooper planned to use a black hole like a giant barrel to push them to Edmund's. Take advantage of everything can be used. They have to reduce all possible weight. Amelia does not like this idea, but TARS says this is the only way to save humanity. Cooper starts to boot, they reach maximum speed and start leaving. Do not let any errors occur. This will make time pass 51 years. TARS separated and said goodbye. Amelia was surprised when Cooper was about to sacrifice himself. She was pushed to Edmund's planet. Cooper is pushed into the center of the black hole. The darkness covered the ship of Cooper. The light appeared. The light hit the train like raindrops. The train could not withstand heat anymore. Cooper pulls out emergency rope. He floated in the darkness and fell into an endless room. Cooper fell into a 5-dimensional space. He realized that there was a bookshelf around. He tried to look over and saw the familiar room. You hit the bookshelves that fall down. Do you find this detail familiar? Cooper saw his daughter when she was young. Call her name in despair. He turned around to see that each wall was a different event in the past of Murph. Cooper saw himself when he was about to fall. He realized that he could communicate via coding. Cooper began to push into books, trying to write each word. Meanwhile, the current Murph began to pull out the books. She saw the decoding book of her symbols. At this time, Murph Sliding realized that the ghost was her father. Taz is still alive and contacted with Cooper. He said that Cooper was in their 5th space. They saved us. In this, can use gravity to transmit the force exceeding the space and time. This means he can send a message to Murph in the past. And they don't take us here, but we bring us to. Taz started to send NASA's coordinates in the form of binary numbers. It was Cooper who sent himself to the secret base. He realized Murph was the chosen person. She will rescue the world. All of this is in her room. Every moment, I have to find a way for her to know. See the Murph watch on the bookshelf. Cooper encodes data into the transmission of the needle. He dotted each one to the password. The adult Murph looked at the clock that the father gave, also realized something. She hugged her brother, looked at her father's clock, and deciphered the professor's problem. She could not keep her happiness. At this time, the mysterious entity is closing multidimensional blocks. Cooper realized this entity was humans. It is possible that humans cannot create this. But someday, the civilization has developed beyond the limit 4 dimensions we know. And so, he watched the universe with a ship flashing in the distance. After that, Cooper woke up at a hospital. Calculating the standards of the Earth, now he is 124 years old. He realized he was at a modern space station. This place is named after his daughter, Mirth Cooper. Here, they still keep a copy of his familiar house. The interior of the house is about 99%. Cooper saw that the damaged Robotaz was brought back. He struggled and successfully fixed it. I came to sip the beer bottle to enjoy. The first time he lived without having to worry about dirt. Then he went to the hospital to visit his daughter. All his descendants are here. Murph is now getting older. Before leaving, she was just a child. When she returned, she was over her father's age. Murph has always raised hope to see again Cooper. No one believes you, but I know you will return, because I promised me. I have descendants here. Parents should not witness their children died. She is still out there, alone among a strange planet. Perhaps she is still waiting for her father, under our new roof. And so, Cooper said goodbye to his daughter for the last time. Secret sneaking and taking a spacecraft, he had to find his colleague. And that is over. The movie Interstellar, Black Lake Death, due Christopher Nolan directed. This is a science fiction, is a movie that you should watch at least twice in your life. Actor plays Amelia Lahartha, Way, a famous and talented actor. After winning the prize Oscar, she received a lot of negative words from the audience, just because it was so perfect. Many directors at that time did not dare to invite her to act, because of her negative influence online. However, director Christopher Nolan did not think so. He was no different from the angel giving her the best role in his career. This has just saved her career and confirmed her acting talent in a great movie. If you have any questions about the movie, please leave a comment for me to answer.